Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Actors Endurance, your number one podcast for the resilient artist. I'm your host, Shanette Wilson, and this is
Marlon Hargrave, the great Marlon Hargrave. Don't think I forgot about that one.
the great Marlon Hargrave. And we're here to drop some more knowledge on you actors. So today we're going to be talking about, what are we talking about, Marlon?
We're going to talk about the importance of representation.
Yes, the importance of representation. You're listening to Actors Endurance, a podcast that inspires actors to never give up on their passion and find ways to continue to grow within the entertainment industry. My name is Shanette Wilson, and I'm an actress, and my co-host is Marlon Hargrave, and he is a teaching artist. And together, we are Actors Endurance. Representation. Do you know what representation is? Number one. So there's a lot of different ways that you can be represented as an actor. You can have an agent, a manager, a publicist, a PR. Am I missing anything? Lawyer,
Accountant, you need a
accountant.
whole
Yeah.
team. You
Yeah.
may even need a casting director and a producer somewhere in that circle, but yeah, they're all part of a team.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's important to have a team because teamwork does make the dream work. And in this business, you cannot do everything by yourself. So one of the main pieces of your team that people typically get first is an agent. And I would say an agent, a talent agent, I'll just go ahead and read the definition. So, a talent agent or booking agent is a person who finds jobs for actors, authors, broadcast journalists, film directors, musicians, models, professional athletes, screenwriters, writers, and other professionals in various entertainment or sports businesses. And agent is very crucial to your team because they are the ones that get you the jobs. They're the ones that submit you. They find the jobs for you, and they also negotiate your contract. So a talent agent is it can be very beneficial for your career for you to get those next level jobs.
Yes, yes. And talent agents are the scrubbers. They scrub you first. They're the ones who they're the first validation, honestly, in a normal procedure. So if you don't get past that, more than likely you're not going to get to the producers, and you may not have a need for any of the other services if you can't get past square one. So um, and in order to get a lot of the professional work, the real work that actors really want to get, you're going to need not only good agents, but it still works in tiers. You're not going to get Denzel's manager or agent coming out of acting school.
Yeah,
There's tiers. So you may have to get a commercial agent, or you may have to get agents that will deal with new talent.
yes, that is a fact. Your agent, they definitely they speak for you. They also show the entire business who you are and how talented you are by being backed by someone that believes in you. So when an agent basically believes in your talent, and this business is about money. It's a money business. So if you find someone that believes in you, that is willing to put their name and their agency on the line, and will submit you, will fight for you, will pitch for you, will negotiate for you, then that tells the business that you know what, they are professional, they understand what they're doing, and they're ready to work. That's what it really says when you have an agent. And
Yes.
right,
Oh, you were going to say something?
no, you're good. I thought I cut you off.
Oh, not a problem, not a problem. Uh, Also, with the agents, I think that you have to realize who they are for you as an actor. So, my suggestion to actors is you do a little bit of background work and figure out if they're a good fit for you. Also, look through their catalog. Look to make sure that they don't have 50 U's. If I go there and they have 50 bald headed, dark skinned men with glasses, or with a beard or something like that, then I may have to reconsider, because if they're sending all of us out, then I have to do better than people that's on my roster. So there's certain things to look out. It's just not all peaches and cream. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you'll be in a contract, and if you don't impress them within the first 6 months, they may not send you out for the rest of the contract. So um, do that, and that's why you need to be at least honing your skills and at least getting your audition skills together. If you can't audition, the agents are just not going to send you out. When you don't book roles, your agents are kind of embarrassed.
Mhm.
And they're in competition with the agency across the hall, across the town, across the nation, across the world. So, you want to not only have representation that represents you well, but it needs to be reciprocal. You have to represent them well as too. Great headshots,
Mm.
do what you're supposed to do as an actor.
Yes, and I'm glad you made that point, because not only does, like he said, that the agent represents you, but you represent the agent and its entire roster. If you get booked for a job and you're signed to, let's just say, ABCDEF talent agency, and you show up late, you're difficult to work with, you're not off book, and you're just causing problems for the entire set. They're looking at you as an individual, but they're also looking at who sent you. So
Yep.
you could ruin it for, let's say, you were cast by one of the top casting directors, and you're working with a top producer and director. They know you and they know your agency. And if it's that bad, they will never work with you or your agency again, and you could ruin it for other actors just because you did not follow the proper protocol and you didn't have great set etiquette, and you just weren't professional. So you could ruin it. You could ruin a lot of opportunities, not only yourself but for your agency as well. And these agents, they take a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, and they put in a lot of work to nurture these relationships, to not only build them but to nurture these relationships over time. So that's a lot of the talent agent's job, is to find, build, and nurture these relationships so that their talent has better opportunities for bigger roles within the business. And I would say to a lot of actors out there, if you do not have an agent, I can tell you that there's a small percentage of people that don't have agents that are doing what they want to do. Now, notice I didn't say working. I
Yeah.
said doing what they want to do,
Right.
because you can work plenty of, exactly, there's plenty of background roles, or plenty of stand-in roles, or plenty of smaller roles that you can get on your own. Outside of that, like like you said, it's a very small amount of people that are working and doing what they want to do within this business without an agent. So I would highly suggest that you get out of your own way and start submitting to agencies. Because if you're not, then you must like where you're at. You must be comfortable and happy exactly where you are. Because,
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. You cannot do everything by yourself. You need other people working for you. Not only that, you need other people co signing for you. And that's what you're missing.
Yes.
So, yeah. So let's go on to other representation, because not only do we have talent agents, we have talent managers. Talent managers are also crucial in the development of your acting career. And right up here, we got the talent manager's responsibilities. So the manager's responsibilities are developing and presenting pitches to potential clients, evaluating talent, big one, conducting auditions, conducting research on potential clients, creating marketing strategies to promote clients, negotiating prospective business deals, and securing and marketing gigs and performances. Um, the talent manager's role is also very crucial because they develop the talent. One big difference between talent manager and talent agent is talent agent will have a lot of clients. Talent managers will have less clients on their roster because they're putting so much time and into their talent that they don't have enough time or resources to put into hundreds of people. Whereas a talent manager, they're mostly submitting and negotiating contracts so they can take on 300 clients, whereas a talent manager may only have 20.
Yeah, and 20 is actually quite large because a manager, they're very, very hands-on. You're talking, you really only talk to your agent when they're negotiating your contracts or sending you out, but you're talking to your manager quite frequently. And it's kind of wild because management actually works in tiers as well. You
Mm,
may have a manager that gets you to a certain point, and then they just don't have the relationships to get you to Netflix. But
true.
they may be able to get you on a TV show. Excuse me, may be able to get you into some smaller local magazines. Really getting you out there and kind of promoting you for maybe guest appearances and things like that. If you're starting to develop and get noticed, but they're very hands on. And the caveat with a manager is you guys are tied to the hip, for however long your contract is, and you can become friends.
Oh yeah.
You're going out a lot. They're introducing you to people. Your agents, they're not introducing you to people. Your manager is a man. Hey, I need you to come to this spot. So and so is going to be there. So again, it's the same thing. You still have to make your manager look good. You have to show up on time. You have to stay groomed. You have to look like you're someone who can be represented and someone who can be sold. And meaning that your image can be sold enough for your manager to put you in a position to make money.
Yes, that is absolutely true. Just to, chime in on what he just said, I believe that your agent, you don't necessarily have to get along with, as long as they just understand their job and how and understand their job and your brand. Now, your manager, you might want to like them, you might want to have some type of friendly relationship. Of course, it's mostly business, but you might want to get along with them on some level because, like he said, it's such a personal interaction. You'll be talking to them on a regular daily basis. So you don't want to deal with someone that you just can't stand. You know, I mean, everyone's different, but yeah, you might want to have some things in common, or at least some common ground. Yeah, because also they're developing you too. So they're going to be giving you a lot of guidance, a lot of coaching, and a lot of keys and tips to get to that next level. So a lot of times you don't want to. A lot of times people won't take advice from people they don't like because you're already guarded. So yeah, do your due diligence in finding a talent manager. Um, and then also before we move forward, just to chime back in on agents. So if you're in LA or if you're in New York, only those two places. If you go to Actors Access and you don't have representation, so this is Actors Access homepage. You go to the Actors Access homepage, which you should have. If you don't have Actors Access, it's only $68 a year. That is the number one tool that you need when you start your acting career. ActorsAccess.com for the homepage, and then you'll go down to this. You see that on the bottom right? It's called Talent Link. So you'll click on Talent Link, you'll register for that, and so you'll sign up. You'll let them know, hey, I'm looking for representation. They'll let you know. I believe it's about like $30 for the month. And what they do is they send your name out there. Your package is already on Actors Access with all of your tools. So they send your name out there in LA and in New York, and anyone's looking for representation, they'll contact you. So this is a great way to find representation. I believe last time I checked, it was about $30 a year. So that is one great way. You can also self-submit yourself. So you go to backstage.com, and backstage.com, you go to resources. Under resources, you'll see find managers and agents, and you'll just go through the list of people and kind of, do your research, see if they're a good fit, things like that. So those are two great ways to get representation.
Yes, and before we move on to one of the other ones, just real quick on the manager's part, make sure that your manager is someone that some people can get along with, because even with your agent, there's going to be a negotiation with your manager. When you get a manager, that is your ultimate mouthpiece. Everybody has to go to your manager. So, that's a lot of people don't understand that. And then they get a manager, and then people say, well, we can't deal with your manager. We like you, but we can't deal with your manager. And now you're stuck in a contract with somebody that somebody doesn't like. So just because they're a manager, just because they have relationships, you have to kind of ask their clients. They only have what, 5 to 20, right? So you can request, say, hey, can I talk to somebody that just signed to you, so I can kind of gauge you a little bit better, or whatever the case is. But if you and your manager going to be tight for 1 to 2 years, probably a 2-year contract, so that they can work it, and then you have to have faith, and you just have to keep everything going. So with a manager, probably even more than an agent, you really have to do your due diligence. Good. Couldn't get
Yes.
that one out. I'll speak English now.
Yes, that is a fact because, and also since your manager is so hands-on and close to you, you want to make sure that you make sure you and your manager have a great understanding. You don't want your manager to turn down a job for you, or uh in a way ruin a relationship with other people because their percentage isn't what they want it to be, because the manager's also looking out for themselves. So, I mean, everyone is. However,
Right,
I've heard
right.
stories of managers um, not referring the client or turning down jobs because the pay wasn't up to the manager's standard. However, the role was good for the actor and their career to get them to the next level. So you really want to do your due diligence. Again, this is a business. This is not personal. So you make sure you take care of you, number one. Um, yeah, for sure. And then going into the next, so you have agents, managers. Now, again, in the beginning, we listed a whole team of people. We're just going to go through a few because we're here for a short time, not a long time. So the next one is a publicist. Now, publicists are great. Obviously, the more people you add to your team, usually uh, every level, it's gets a little bit more costly. However, by that time, typically you're making the money to hire all these people, so you can get to even higher levels in your career. So, a publicist is a person whose job is to generate and manage publicity for a company, a brand, or a public figure, especially a celebrity, or for work as such as a book, film, or album. So, a publicist basically they'll get your name out there. They will put your name in people's ears, or uh, put you on different shows and programs, and they're basically your marketing team.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and this is a business. When I went through acting school, the one thing that they were adamant about is, this is you, this is your product, you are your own brand. This, like Jay-Z said, I'm not a businessman, I am a businessman. So definitely understand what that means. You
Mm,
are a business, and you have to be treated as such. So you need someone who can speak for you and sell you as a product. That's, your brand is your product. So again, all of these things, you have to be in alignment with that. But the publicist, oftentimes, you would get an agent, then a manager, then a publicist would come, because now you're getting notoriety outside of just being an actor or what kind of entertainer you are. Now you're doing special events and becoming special guest on ESPN, or like Shanette said, a TV show, or um,
mhm.
special ceremonies, openings, yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff. But they're the ones that keep you out there. You're like, wow, that person's hot. Yeah, they're hot because they have a publicist who knows what they're doing, and can
Exactly.
get them into the right places. And again, the agent, publicist, your manager, your PR team, their relationships have to be on point in order to move you up in the hierarchy. So again, you have to do your work. None of them are cheap. None of them are cheap,
Yeah.
and all of them come with their own percentages. It's like class from when you go to school and your teachers give you homework. The one teacher doesn't care how much the other teacher gave you. So
Yep.
one of them does not care about what percentage you owe the other. They want their percentage. So you need to be making a lot of money. But if you're making a lot of money, you're still paying out a lot. So just know that that comes with financial obligations, but hopefully everybody's winning.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then when you guys, because actors endurance, we're enduring out here. We're staying busy. I know you guys that are watching this podcast, you guys are doing everything in your power to stay booked. So therefore, you're making that money, right? So you got your agent, right? Okay, booking. You got your manager. Okay, getting yourself together. Okay, then you get your publicist. Wonderful, getting your brand out there, right? Then you start feeling yourself, and then you need this public relations because you done messed up. Messed up, you done did something, you done got turned up, you done got turned out, something happened. And then you in the media for the wrong reasons, right? So your publicist, they done got you out there. Oh yeah, look at them, look at them, look at them, and then boom, look at you. hmm Look at
Hmm.
so public relations, if you didn't know, public relations basically they're in a way the handlers. So public relations is the practice of managing and disseminating information from an individual or an organization to the public in order to influence their perception. Did you hear that? So everyone thought you were great and wonderful, and then you do some old crazy stuff. Then they're like, "Oh, who is that?" And then here comes public relations, fixing your brand. So public relations and publicity differ in that PR is controlled internally, whereas publicity is not controlled and contributed by external parties. So if you guys didn't know the difference, there's a difference. So definitely want a publicist. However, do the right thing and stay out of that whole public relations unless it's positive. But ooh, boy, boy,
Yeah,
yeah,
and because they are the cleanup, they are very expensive. They are not cheap at all.
for
If you
sure.
get to them, have your dough together because they're like the lawyer for you. They're the ones who get you out of trouble. So if you were on the side of crime, a lot of the criminals walk because of their lawyers and not even the case itself. We have celebrities that go through this all the time, and some
Every
of
day.
them get out of it, some of them don't. And it's the same thing. Like if a lawyer has a high profile case and they win, their firm is at the top of the game. And the public relations, same thing. If you know somebody who's like, oh, their career is over, and then they just bounce back up. Okay, who was their publicist when I get in trouble? Same
hmm
thing.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure if you haven't seen it yet, but most of you have watched Scandal. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
because that's definitely one of the best shows to show you.
you hear something?
Did you? No, did you freeze? What?
No, no, I keep hearing something. What is that?
What?
My Adam is coming, is coming, is coming.
Oh,
Adam,
uh,
at your tip of the moment. This is how we going in. Since we're on this whole representing your team, the Adam is find someone who will review your paperwork before you sign with them. Everything is good and great, but the syntax is where the contract is. It's not the just the regular language. The syntax is the language of the contract, and normal people don't. It's not for the normal people to read. It's almost like trying to read medicine or something like that.
hmm,
Get someone who knows what they're doing. Lawyers are a little bit cheaper in this day and age at this point. Go get one.
yeah,
Go get one. Once you sign a contract, you're binded to that contract for the life of the contract. And then there are other pieces in there, especially with managers, because a manager may say, hey, I own 20% of you regardless,
yeah,
because they'll take your name and
yeah,
they'll own your name. And so if if I'm go Marlon or whatever, and that's my name, and now I'm not dealing with my manager, but I signed some kind of contract that's a lifelong contract. It doesn't matter. Same thing that Prince went through. He became the artist known as Prince
Yes.
because his name was owned by the label or by the distributor. So be careful of that. I do know people who have sold their names to their managers, and the managers don't even have to do anything. They don't even have to pick up another phone or anything.
Mhm.
So be careful. These contracts are really binding, and once you sign them, ignorance is not an excuse. Trust me. Oh, I didn't know. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
You signed it. So be very careful of that.
Yes. And okay, now that Marlon done hit us all with the with the daggone atom. Oh my goodness. So before we leave you, I just want to give you this little quick diagram. If you see uh from the top, those are the most important people in green, you know. Then you have the movie studios and the TV networks, right? They're the ones that pretty much run the business, right? They dictate what goes out, what doesn't. The producers and the filmmakers, they're right up under that. They're the one creating content, but they still have to deal with the movie producers and the TV networks. Then you have the casting directors, then the talent agents, and who's on the bottom? Actors. So actors, listen, if you guys want to get to the top, make sure you do your due diligence. You're creating a great and wonderful team that is working for you, but most importantly, mind your business because this is the business of acting. It's not the acting business. So, yeah. You got anything on that one, Marlon? All right. So, with that, we're going to go right to the quote of the day. So, the quote of the day comes from Sir Isaac Newton. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Come on, y'all.
Yep.
I'm gonna give it to you one more time. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Y'all, you can only do so much by yourself. You are only one person. There are only 24 hours in a day. Plus, there's always someone that knows something that you don't know. There are always people out there willing to help you, and there are connections that sometimes you cannot make by yourself. So, therefore, make sure you build you a great team, a loyal team, and a trustworthy team to get to the top. Yeah. All right. And on
Yep.
that note, thank you for joining Actors Endurance. Make sure you guys check out our podcast. And there you go. Yep. Show them, Marlon. There you go. Check out the podcast. It's on actorsendurance.com. Visit the website. We got this wonderful merch you guys can check out here. And
We got tennis shoes, man.
yeah,
Tennis shoes. We got Chucks, man. Come
shoes
on,
are
the
fly.
Chucks.
Yep, the shoes are fly. Shoes, a backpack. And we're dropping new episodes on the 1st and the 15th of every month. And we also have script analysis class every Sunday. So we'll see y'all next time. Peace out.